Good morning. We're back to our regular tracking with, once again, our phone not charging while plugged in. I don't know what's up with this thing, but I think I got the world's shittiest cable. It also didn't charge fully. So I don't know what's going on there. Sorry, I just unplugged it and plugged it back in again. Now it's charging. Yeah, world's shittiest cable. Today I have what used to be carbonated melon crush, like orange crush, because my roomie made some last night for herself and didn't like it. So that is our liquid sustenance today, and we've still got some strawberry that I made some last night. And so I've got a glass with ice in it because I don't like drinking tepid drinks. But how are you guys today? Good morning, Elaine, and good morning, Necromancer. How are you guys? As usual, let me know when ads come up and if the music is too loud or the mic's not loud enough or too loud. Good morning, Nessie. Welcome back. I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? I have to go release the cats. Oh, Tesla, you had your chance to eat. I'm apparently getting left behind for today's adventures with Romy's parents because the aunt is also coming. There's traffic noise. I have been doing pretty good. I just woke up, so I've got morning voice. I literally, my alarm goes off and I roll out of bed and turn on the stream. And then I go and I feed the cats and give everybody time to filter in. And that's more or less how it's going. My shoulder hurts a bit today because of my appointment yesterday. And last night I did a bunch of work on the shoulder pads for those pictures. But yeah, yesterday was an adventure. I ended up going out towards the end of a blizzard, and then I got freezing rain while I was out at the end of the blizzard. And then, by the time I got off the bus at my destination, the like 3 to 5 centimeters of sticky wet snow that we had ended up being kind of crunchy. And then by the time I left my appointment, like 10 minutes later, the snow was very crusted over and already coated in ice. And then it proceeded to be freezing rain the rest of the day. But on the way into the appointment, like, the wind really picked up, and it was like being sandblasted by ice. It was very unpleasant. And I was glad that I had actually worn a scarf for the first time this year. Good morning, Nachos, and good morning, NB. Wow, lots of people today. So yeah, yesterday was kind of an adventure in Canadian spring weather. I've been good. How have you been? I haven't got to sleep yet. Just doing something typing before I do so. Well, I'm here for night shift people as well. If I'm starting too late for you to be able to catch the streams, just let me know. I might consider starting earlier. Because I know 9 a.m. Eastern is probably a bit late for night shift people. But I would like everybody who tries to watch me regularly at least have a chance. So the schedule thing is still flexible. I just picked 9 a.m. because originally it was 8 a.m. and then we lost an hour because of stupid daylight savings time. Oh, okay. Alright, so I picked a good time then. Yeah, I used to stream at 8 a.m. Eastern, and then we lost the hour, and my body just didn't want to get up at 8. You know, we're called East Coast, but where I am, we're very, very much landlocked. There's no coast here. If there were, I would be eating a lot more seafood than I do. Because, good lord, I love crustaceans. Other than fungus, crustacean is my next favorite food group. Yeah, I won't find out about my shoulder for probably about a week. Which is unfortunate. The weird thing is she didn't even scan the part of my shoulder that hurts the most. So, we'll see. If they call me back and they're like, yeah, we didn't find anything wrong, I'm going to screech and rage and demand they redo the scan. Because I can't live like this. Also, painting these little triangles / diamond things is really, really hard. Oh, Nachos redeemed a hydrate. We hydrate and spill all over ourselves somehow. I think that's just condensation, though. How did I manage that? That's gotta be condensation on the outside of the glass. It's very humid here. The other thing that the weather did is, after the freezing rain, it became very, very foggy for the rest of the day. And then it just pissed rain all night long, and we had a thunderstorm. It's kind of weird. But it was nice. Lots of lightning, lots of thunder. It was fantastic. I got a little bit of footage recorded of it, which is one of my favorite things to do in thunderstorms, but we haven't been getting them very often here. So that was yesterday's weather adventures. I also discovered that I probably have a sinus infection, which is why I was having so much trouble yesterday. How you get a sinus infection, I don't know. Maybe I inhaled some cat hair and it's just up there, stuck in my sinuses. I don't know. So if I mute every once in a while, it's because I am probably blowing my nose. I also woke up this morning, despite all the humidity, I'm just like, I can't even close my mouth because it's so dry. So, lots of hydrating is happening today. So don't be afraid to redeem your hydrates to remind me to drink today. Right, I have to remember to keep the shadows going the right way here. Because most of the light is coming from back here and kind of like up. So we need shadow here too. You have to keep your lighting consistent. Do your job, artist. Well, might not be a lot of hydrates once I get my redeems going. If you want to use the other redeems, but they're not like Fantasy, who has what is it, like almost 20k points now. Although I do know that if you're subscribed, you get more points per hour. That's just something that Twitch does. There's also, I think there's a setting in, I think it's Better TTV, that automatically gathers your points up for you when you get those, like, bonus chest things. So that you don't always have to be watching to collect them. So if you just want to hoard points, kind of the way I do on other people's channels, that is an option. By the way, this other shoulder pan took me something like 4.5 hours to paint. So I hope you're interested in me coloring triangles for the next while. It was just getting the shape of it right. It was so difficult. I don't know why I was having so much trouble. The second time around should be easier, right? Why do I do this to myself? I like picked the most complicated design for this, and they're just shoulder pads. This is my own fault. And no one to blame but myself. But if Necromancer ever commissions someone else to draw his character. Just done 2 weeks of hole punching for a leather satchel. Yeah. I need to figure out some kind of thread to use because Rayther gave me some leather, so I want to make something, but I now have no way to sew the leather, so I'll have to go into the leather crafters chat and ask some questions. Start softening these seam lines here. 'Cause they're way too dark. Yeah. It's also easier on my shoulder to paint this one in this direction. The flipped canvas thing is such a lifesaver. Can't do that in real life. The thread I use is a thick black thread. It tends to work for me. Yeah, I just gotta find a place to get one where I live. Rayther probably knows. Although I think he goes all the way to a Tandy. Which are far away, even if you have a car. Which I don't. I am trapped here. There used to be a Tandy here, but that was in the 1970s. And I am not that old. I only know that because my mom lived here in the 1970s because she went to the same university I did. Also with my dad. You! Death be upon you. Evil bot. I don't know why they even bother with. Do people actually buy viewers? Like I'll never get that. Like, do people actually buy viewers? Do they really make money? Wow. People have no self-respect. Anyone who buys viewers, they don't respect themselves. It's kind of sad, really. Let's see, there needs to be more here. Imagine doing such a thing. Redeemed a street. Here we go. The cats are looking at me like WGF. Street. And a hydrate from Necromancer. And another hydrate. Awesome. You guys are doing good today. It helps me to remember to drink because sometimes I forget. I get invested in painting. And then I forget to drink, but I know I'm dehydrated today. And pardon me, I have to blow my nose. Ugh. Whew. There's air in my sinuses. The hydrate also helps with that. Because, like, if you're constantly blowing your nose, you're also blowing out some of your own hydration. But thank you guys. I know waterboarding me is fun, but I did have a pretty bad stomachache the other day. That one time. Ugh. I'm still really proud of how this other one turned out. You'd be surprised how difficult it is to turn these soft yet still rigid triangles into like a curved surface. Oh, that's the wrong brush. Wait. It's magic maraca time, guys. A little bit of waterboarding won't hurt. No, not at all. And I'm gonna take some Advil too. All the medication. But yes, it's magic maraca time. I hadn't done that yet. If you guys have meds to take, make sure you take them. Oh, god damn. It's sitting in my throat again. That's just in time. Thank you. Thank you, Nachos. Ugh. The moment when you, like, take a pill and then it just kind of, like, goes halfway down and then sits there. Magic maraca time. Oh, Jesus Christ, Nachos. What the hell? That's a lot. That is so many pills. Oh my god. You okay? The color of this jacket's gonna remain messed up until I am finished painting this. Every time you look over, it's just chesticles in your face. Well, I mean, that's not a problem. I hope her chesticles are the right size. It is your character. I actually don't draw females all that often. The women's. Wait till I actually get painting around the shirt and stuff. Because that's nowhere near done. The skin is pretty much done, but still might put a little bit of highlights and stuff in there. I mean, boobs are nice. I used to be like kind of anti-boob. Probably because guys were always mean to me because mine are really small. And then I realized I was gender neutral. And I'm like, hey, I have small boobs, that's great. So I was always one of those girls who's just really upset with how they looked. I'm just like, well, I don't get it. Why do the guys like the really big boobs? And now I'm just like, yeah, they're okay. Lots of adjustment through here because this one's kind of stretched out funny. Getting the shape of these right, like once you start refining them, you start to see where any mistakes you made are. And they become really obvious. This is why I prefer drawing smooth organic things as opposed to geometric stuff, because I can get away with being lazy. Although one day I want to do like a really intense city scene. I've been trying to learn some more stuff with the 3D rulers in not the 3D rulers, but the perspective ruler in Clip Studio. Because I would like to do like this really intense city scene. Got one in my head, but to be able to plot that thing out, oh my god. So much I want to do in so many ways that I want to push my art skills. There's not enough life. All the things that I want to learn and do. And of course, for 90% of those things, you need money. That is one of the things that I have the least of. Okay. Like I said, the other set took me like 4.5 or more hours to paint, so be prepared to look at triangles for a while, and boobs. I almost always play female characters. Boys are icky, but I don't typically sexualize them, so it's small bust, no hourglass, etc. If you want to make Carly curvaceous, big busted monster, I guess I'll have to mentally prepare for that. I would think that you know, zooming out, these are these aren't bad. Her shirt is definitely pushing them together a little bit. And I do find them a little bit round, but we can do. The liquefy tool is pretty great. It helps me make adjustments without really ruining the painting, especially in paintings themselves. Because there's no line art and things blend together a little bit better. It's easier to do. Wow, zoomed out really tiny. So thumbnail view, anyone? Let's turn the painting the right way first of all. Yeah, the liquefy tools work really well for paintings, not so much pictures with line art. Yeah, she's definitely got very perky boobs. Again, I don't draw females very often, so I tend to my proportions are a little bit off. It's funny because in grade school I used to draw women pretty much exclusively. I found men too blocky. And when I started drawing my own characters after high school, I played almost exclusively male characters. Commission a seductive succubus next. If you want. It's your money. Not sure I can paint that one on stream, depending on what you want. I have no issues drawing, was it lascivious scenes? I think that's the word I seek. Just a portrait. I've never done one of those, a portrait of a real person. I mean, how hard can it be? I think this is where I want to do some erasing. You could give me any references and I wouldn't know who they are, so... Using right pen? Oh, no. Again, I have to paint from this angle because it's easier on my shoulder. Moving things around with the canvas mirrored is very strange for me. Also what's bothering is all these little bits. Hydrate! You have a meeting soon? Well then, you'll come back and there'll be some triangles painted. There's something about watermelon flavored that just feels more hydrating. It's probably because watermelons are just mostly water, so we just associate it with being more hydrating, I guess. Question mark. Truck noises. Oh, fantasy's alright. It's strange when they don't show up. Makes me worry. If you want. I mean, I can always check in on her too. So. The fantasy's very consistently here, but maybe they're sleeping for once, so. I also want them to get their sleep. Because fantasy doesn't sleep nearly enough. I mean, like, she knows I have a schedule, so I don't expect people to show up. She might be busy, too. She might be out for the evening, because I think it's like afternoon, evening there. Should be like mid-afternoon, I think. Starting to get into the refinement phase here. As the brush gets smaller and smaller. Too dark. I imagine this material to be kind of like a quilted polyethylene kind of deal. It's like very early 2000s futurism. Well, as long as that's coming across, that's good. I still want to go in on the other side and do a little bit more highlighting. Because like this side has a lot of brights now. So I'll have to go back into the other side and adjust that. Because I lost some of my contrast in the painting process last night when I was tired. My brain was like, I'm just gonna do it this way. I have to remember when it curves up over the shoulders, you're not necessarily going to see the seams between them. But there's still going to be light and shadow in the valleys. And there's going to be a little bit of reflection off of the peaks and a little bit of shadow because the triangles themselves are not hard. They're kind of like geometric pillows almost. I'm trying to convey that while still keeping the geometry visible and readable, but still convey the fact that, like, it's a semi-hard material. Alright, later, Necromancer. I'll probably still be going because I'm very invested in this work right now. And my phone is still charging. Somehow it's actually charging while we're painting and running it. Unlike yesterday. And the day before. Alright, I want to pull some of this blue in here. Because I know the light source coming from this side. Is going to be a little bit more blue. More triangles! Yeah, no, these triangles aren't going to be done for a while. Hope you're enjoying them. I have to remember to keep the canvas up where you guys can see it. I have to make some adjustments to my layout still. It's probably what the rest of the day is going to be dedicated to, hopefully. Hopefully. I say that, knowing it probably won't be. Because roommate's parents are going to be here eventually after they go to the farmer's market. I got left behind. in favor of bringing Auntie. Which is a shame because I would have liked to have gone back to the farmer's market. I haven't gone. Well, we haven't gone since Puma actually came up and visited us in Canada. I wish I could just get a big property and build a bunch of little houses on it, where all my friends could come and live. I need to set up my stream so I can start some chat on my screen when I'm playing games. Yeah, I don't have a second monitor, and my phone for some reason won't stay on. So I have my art window just like kind of squashed a little, and a lot of games also don't react well to that kind of aspect ratio shifting, which is part of the reason why I haven't played any games yet, because I haven't quite figured out how to get away with having the chat on screen. So, but like, if I switch to my OBS and I'm just in chat mode, I'll be reading the chat like up on the upper left, or sorry, the upper right, but otherwise my chat's in the lower left when I'm in the art program, because I just automatically go read chat through OBS on my overlay. I don't know why I do that. I just do. I'm weird though. I wish Kit and Maddie would start using Twitch instead of YouTube for the live streams though. This is where we're starting to get into the weird bits here. The problem bits. Because this line is kind of wonky. Which means we're going to make adjustments from the top and work our way down. This one is being a problem. The line's not supposed to be straight, but you still have to follow a certain pattern. The way you can do that is you can line up the diamond tips and the seam lines, and of course you'll line up the diamond tips vertically, horizontally, diagonally. Oh, so many things, Neff! Good morning, Neff. Do the streets. Waking me up, Neff. Good job. I'm making sure I stay hydrated today. How you doing, Neff? Oh, God, that hurt my shoulder. God damn it. Let's get that bowl out of the way. There we go. We're working on triangles today, Neff. as you can probably tell. That is a terrible color. Let's change that. Although, if I flip this back, tough choice, huh? Did you know that this color that I'm painting right now is actually in the middle green? This color is green. Because if I just drag the saturation over, that's the color I get. And I bet you'd probably see it better if I turn off the, oops. Yeah, you see it a little bit better if I turn off the clouds, but the warm purple hue of the clouds in the background drag the yellow out more. Color theory, yeah. I'm such a nerd. Once again, gotta flip it around. I don't know why, but it kind of reminds me of, like, what is it, the Cardassians from Star Trek Next Generation. This fabric. Sort of like weird, poofy, geometric triangle quilted polyethylene 90s futurism fabrics. Sorry, gotta zoom in a lot more. Just boobs in the face. Sorry. Please don't ban me, Twitch. They're art. I'm like moving pixels at a time here. faint blending of the contrast. I think Neff just did a drive-by redeem. So the Thursday crew seems to be a little bit different from the Wednesday through Monday, or Monday through Wednesday crew. Mirror to canvas. Should just rename this stream to Painting Triangles. Another hydrate from Necromancer. Thank you, Necromancer. We drink. Even while in his meetings, Necromancer is making sure that I remain hydrated. I don't know why, but this particular pyramid gives me like another hydrate. Gives me Ramiel vibes from Evangelion. I'm just thinking screams geometrically. Thank you for the hydrate again, Necromancer. I'm into that very careful refinement process where I will go over the same thing, like it looks like 500 times, but like every time I go over it, it's just a slight bit different. Stretch. Shrimp your spine, croissant, donuts, looking gremlins. Yeah. Keep forgetting to pull the canvas up so that you guys can see what I'm actually painting here. I'm gonna have to build my nose again soon. This one is a little bit off here. Let's go this way. Accidentally dragging the whole canvas around. Down into the fine details. Ah, my stomach is growling. It wants food to go with the medicine and the liquid. Ugh. Stomach, I don't eat until after stream. You know this. If I eat at all. Jeez, I'm surprised you guys can't hear how loud that's growling. Every time I look over, it's just wham, tatas to the face. Look, she's a confident lady. If anybody pays too much attention to her tatas without her permission, she will beat the shit out of them, I'm sure. Another street. Ah. Finding different ways to do all these streaches so I don't overstreach some parts. Ah. Disappear into my desk. There's blood on my pants. Apparently, I was bleeding at some point. Ah. Everybody else, make sure you stretch. Too much liquid in my stomach now. This one is wrong. I think it's because that one triangle's a lot bigger than the others. This is why you guys are doing the streaches. You just like seeing me look like I'm having an exorcism. For my brain's sake, see what my brain is saying here. That's the fun thing about VTubers is, like, the human body can't do these things, and it's fun to watch the VTubers freak out, because it's like ragdoll physics in games where it's just funny. Yes. This is I think this is why people like VTubers so much. Other than, like, anime titties. But, Nameless doesn't have titties, because he's a boy. The one asset he does have, not allowed to show on Twitch. I still haven't decided what his original name was, and I don't know if I ever will. Until I come up with a really good one. Nothing wrong with the anime titties. Nope. Nope, nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with tatas in general. It's only religious fundamentalism that tells you there's something wrong with tatas. In Ontario, you're allowed to go topless as a woman in public. You're allowed. Men are allowed to go topless, women are allowed to go topless. And we fought hard for that privilege. Do any of us use it? No. But do we have the right to do so? Yes. And that's called equality. Ah, I knew you might have been sleeping. Good. Good, good, good. I was a little bit worried, but then we started ruminating. I'm like, oh, maybe she's asleep. So we didn't want to bother you, but we were worried because you weren't here. But good morning, Fantasy, or good afternoon, however you feel it. A good time zone. Whichever you prefer. I'm glad that you got some sleep. I know you don't sleep very well. I actually woke up precisely 1 minute before my alarm today. Despite the rough night that I had. Oh, my roommate either just came back or just left. The door has opened. That loud noise was my blinds. When someone opens the door to the apartment, it creates a sort of suction. It's the suck zone. Quick, what's that a reference from? It's a movie about weather. After a busy day, it's 4 p.m. Had to do tech stuff, so it was not fun. And the doctor's appointment. Well, I hope your appointment went well, and I hope your tech stuff is cleared away. And you have booped the snoot. It is the boop snoot. The snoot that gets booped. Like the droop snoot. But it's the boop. The boop snoot. Fantasy has booped the snoot. Gotta do that every time. And I have to, like, switch to my OBS to make sure my avatar is, like, doing the thing. I like to watch it, too. It's booping season again. Every day is booping season. Every day I'm booping. Boop, 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 boop. Yes, I'm weird. It's fine. It's what you come here for. We all know it. Laptop wouldn't charge. But when I went to the tech store, it started to charge. I hate it when that happens. You're like, there's something wrong, I swear. And then it does the thing that it's supposed to do instead of the thing that it's been doing, but it's not supposed to do. That was me and my computer after I had put it together. And it just... They did all the diagnostics, but they didn't open up the case and look inside, so I had to bring it back like 3 times, and it's like $40 in cab ride every time I do. And it was expensive to find out that my 24-pin connector was not plugged in all the way. Because I was afraid to break it, so I didn't want to push on it. Oh, there's the sniffles. My sinuses are full again. I have to blow my nose soon. God, the painting's so messy down here. Even darker color for this one. flip this back around. Like, that looks so much better than what we started with, right? Right now, to just paint right over some of that work. This feels like a sin. And we're going to bring her jacket over her boobs. This also feels like a sin. Because we don't want her boobs to be too big. Well, they're not as in your face now. Now that I've put her jacket over top of them. Gotta drop her trim around all the fancy shoulder bits that we've been working so hard on. Always the wrong button. I'm still trying to decide what to do for her shirt. Because I don't want to cover up too much of that lovely crease that I've put in there. I worked very hard to paint that, you know. But also, like, the shirt should have some drape across it. And then, how tight is it against her skin is the question. Well, thank you, Fantasy. I have worked very hard to get my art to this point. Like, we're not anywhere near done this painting. There's still so much I want to do. Also, I want to take these bits, put them on a separate layer. We'll save that for later, because I wanted to put like a pinstripe design on the collar, or on like the lower part of the collar. One thing I really like is like right down, right here is this little highlight that I put in by accident, but it's just like a little magical touch of light, and I'm afraid to touch it. I'm afraid to do anything there because I don't want to ruin that little highlight. Just the perfect curve over the back towards the shoulder, like over the shoulder towards the back, the words that I want. Like, it's just perfect. I just don't want to touch it. And sometimes happy accidents happen. That is definitely one of those. smooth out these colors a little bit. Basically everything from the neck down was very, very roughed in. You have to remember, colors do reflect a little bit. So you're gonna see a little bit of the like turquoise kind of blue shade on the collar as it's reflected up. We're also getting a little bit of that pale yellow stormy sunlight reflecting on the collar as well. And then I have a bright, like an extremely bright, like welding light source that's way off on this side, very far away, which is where you're getting these really bright blue highlights that are coming in around here. Getting that to read right on everything is it's tricky. Especially since I've never done a painting with this much dynamic lighting before. Kaneko-chu, good morning! How you doing? How's the family? How's streaming? I know you stream too, don't you? You're also a VTuber, right? Might not be there for movie night. It's okay, I tend to not join movie night either. I've got too much to do. I need to start doing calculations for my tent and deciding whether I'm going to try and make my tent for Conquest. I'm usually working on sketches and pricing comparisons and research in the evenings. So, don't have time for movie night. Everything from the neck down causes concussions. And fantasy, it's totally cool if you need to take time for yourself. Absolutely. I take time for myself all the time. That's why sometimes I'm not in the chat. Because sometimes I just need alone time. As a matter of fact, I need a lot of alone time. That's how I recharge my batteries. But this, for some reason, streaming is like a battery recharge system for me. I used to be very tired after stream, and then once people started showing up and I started being able to just like converse with people naturally, it became a wake-up recharge kind of system for me, and I really like that. It's strange how things in life come about. Kunaka, I've never been to one of your streams. What kind of stuff do you do? Like if I see you're streaming while I'm on B-Sky and you've like shared it there, I will like boost it if I can. It's always me time. Necromancer knows how to take care of himself. And everyone else. The Pop-Tarts haven't come in yet, by the way, Necromancer. I'm hoping eventually to set up my webcam for physical art. I would like to do some physical art on stream as well. I have a collaboration that I'm in the process of preparing for with an art supply maker. So she makes her art supplies by hand. She makes these super glittery watercolors. And it's Red Lori Bright Eyes, Lori, I think, on Blue Sky. You'll see me retweet, or not retweet, but reskeet her stuff every once in a while. There's a crazy person outside again screaming. doing the insane person shouts, just so you know, if you hear some weird shouting. Just... There's a lot of those in my city, where they're just batshit crazy all the time. Usually because of drugs. Don't do drugs, kids. Yeah, Fantasy, make sure you take care of yourself. And if you ever need people to talk to, like, just message me. I might not always be available, but you can just message me if you need someone to talk to about mental health stuff. I talk to a lot of my friends about their mental health stuff. And I don't mind, because mine's in a good place, and it's in a good enough place that I am okay with talking to other people about theirs. I know it also looks like I'm not doing much in this painting, but there's a lot happening right in this little part of the lapel. Drugs are bad, okay. But yeah, there's lots of screaming happening out there. There's a couple of people in my city, they're like sort of well known. In terms of like, yes, this person is a homeless person and they're a bit batshit crazy. There's one lady who walks around and all she does is scream at people, and she'll like follow you around and shout at you and yell threats and stuff. She followed Sai and I one day because we're playing Pokemon Go, and she's like, "Don't you dare record me." I'm like, "If you don't want me to record you, stop following me, man." Yeah, art is slow and takes lots of time. I'm also in, like, refinement zone. So it's like, I'm making very small, subtle changes to really big things. And that's the phase that we're in. And I'm trying to get the lighting right on this. But it's my favorite part of painting, and that's the blending and details, where things really start to come to life. Like, there'll still be more shadow put on the shoulder pads. Oh, the crazy lady screaming? Yeah. I have to consciously practice stoicism when she comes around. And there's another guy, he just walks up the street shouting. And, he's just shouting at nothing. There's another dude, I call him Lord Buckethead's Minstrel. He runs around with like a 5-gallon bucket, and he puts it on his head, and then he just like does this thing where it like weaves back and forth, and he like drums on it with his rhythm. It's a good rhythm. If you want to see Lord Buckethead's Minstrel, he is on my YouTube channel. Took a recording of him one day when I went for my sleep test like years ago. Oh, look at me painting directly over the painting. Ah, God, it's painful. Oh, it hurts to do that. To cover up my hard work. But it needs to be done. Ah! But yeah, I went out for my sleep test like years ago, like 2020 or something. And I saw that guy, and I was like, what the hell? So I filmed him, because it was fascinating, and it was a great beat. And then, a couple years later, he came back again, and was at the bus shelter at like 3 in the morning across the street from my building, so I got a little bit of him recorded then too. Like, you can't see his face or anything, so, you know, I feel a little bit bad recording someone without their permission, but also he's one of those people you don't want to approach either. But he's a fun dude otherwise, especially when he's playing his jam. There used to be the accordion man here. He would play the accordion very, very well on the street corner. And I was like, wow, I haven't seen Accordion Man for a really long time. And I went and looked him up on the Reddit. And it turns out that he was also Crazy Cart Man, which I didn't know. So there was this one guy who ran around with a shopping cart, and he had all these signs for like the ends of days and stuff, and all sorts of conspiracy theories. And it turns out that he passed away, because I hadn't seen Crazy Cart Man in a long time either. And I was like, wow, I wonder if he like moved on to like Toronto or Hamilton or something, because these guys migrate around a lot between cities. But like Crazy Cart Man and Accordion Man were very popular, and they were like sort of local celebrity hobos. He was a really nice dude. Like, he was just really friendly. He just had some mental health problems, and so he was a street man. But he tried his best to help people, but he also believed in all of these like crazy conspiracy theory things. But he was also very old. Like, he was around when I was a small child, and he was old then. I couldn't do city life. I don't even like suburban life. I haven't seen anyone in a week kind of life. I agree. I want to live in the woods where there is nobody, but I also want to live near lots of people that I really like, so I want to have like a little community. Kind of like what Neff talks about sometimes, where it's like a bunch of like carriage houses or tiny houses just like on this really big property. And like, we're a neighborhood, and we're not necessarily family, but we're all really good friends. We just don't like life. I like life. I used to not like life, and now I like life again. Because you guys are in my life now. And I have found something that I enjoy doing that at least gets me a little bit of money here and there. You know, it's sort of an income, and the more consistently I do it, the more it'll grow, and maybe I'll meet new, more interesting people and make a living, which is important. I've neglected the adult part of being an adult. Very much. Very quickly falling into chat time of art and chat. I deal with people. People cause too much shit. Yep. But you know, there's people I do like dealing with, and that's like you guys and the Skill Monkeys and my friends and family. Humans can't exist alone. We are social creatures by nature and by evolution. As much as we like to say we can exist alone, we really can't. Even I need social interaction. And then there's those of us who can't exist without social interaction, period. Like, you constantly need somebody around. My aunt is one of those people. She's like, God, I always need someone. Her first two husbands have passed away, so she got married again. I came back from Conquest, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I got married." I'm like, "What? I didn't even know you were dating." I haven't had IRL friends in many years. Do you think we've reached the end of human evolution? No. I also, like, I haven't had time for IRL friends, but mostly it's because, like, it's hard to meet people as an adult. Like, it's really, really hard. A lot of us don't have a lot of time because we either have careers or family, so we just don't have the time. And, like, you know, the friends that we grew up with have all moved for their careers or their family, and there's also this weird stigma against adults and play, so adults don't have a lot of time to have fun. I don't have IRL friends, and the few I have are kind of toxic. Well, you know what? Come to Conquest, you'll have IRL friends. We're just scattered all over the world, and we get to see each other once a year. It's the way I see things. Is there a cat under my desk? Yes, there is. There's a cat. Hi, cat. It's cat time. Yeah. I thought I felt something against my leg. It's a river. Oh, 2 hydrates in a row. Hi, Rivy. Oops, 1 hydrate. That's 2 hydrates. No. Meow. He's being a fuss. He's the one who's hanging out around my ankles. I have cat now, so art is no longer happening. He's a good baby. But yeah, most of the time as an adult, like, the idea of play and having fun is kind of frowned upon. It's considered, like, unprofessional and, you know, plays for kids. So I'm gonna reset my avatar a little bit here. That way I'm not looking off into the universe when I'm talking to you guys. And, yeah, I think that stigma against play is wrong. Adults need to have fun just as much as kids do. As a matter of fact, it helps us maintain our mental faculties as we get older and towards the golden age of our lives, which is kind of frightening to think about. I'm gonna turn up my microphone a bit so you can hear this little baby complain so much. He's like, "How dare you give me love and affection?" Your tongue is sticking out and you're making slow blinks, so you're not that mad. Meow. Meow. It's cat time. He's very talkative today. Apparently we had somebody else follow while I was offline. Nick H. 6,997. Creative. Do you hear this complaining kitten? Why do you whine so much, River? No, he's eyeing his tail. He wants to play with it. Oh, we've been going for almost 2 hours. Wow. He makes the cutest little noises. Captain Wiggles here. He's in the, like, wham moaning phase because mom's not home. Ew. Ah! He's kicking me in the chin. Ew. Yeah. Your mouth is open. Your mouth is open. Silly baby. Yeah, it takes effort to make IRL friends. Huge effort. And to get together. I have my roommate in this city, and I have her friends from college/uni also in this city, and a friend from uni again also in this city, and I never see them. I see my roommate every day because I live with her. My avatar is still looking off into the universe. Meow. Ah, that's better. There we go. Will you whine? You whine so much. He's so dramatic. Meow. And if I give him a little pat while he's screaming, he's like wah 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 wah. I swear, Major, his tongue is sticking out. Are you the cutest bean in the world? Yes, you're the cutest bean. He's very dramatic. All I'm doing is holding him and rocking him and cradling him and petting him, and he's like, nah! He's also kicking me in the face. Meow! Meow! Who's a silly man? Who's a silly man? Meow! Yeah, that's basically. Good morning, Puma. Oh, he's got his tail now. He's like an ADHD child. If you hold on to him for too long, he gets really upset because he's got nothing to play with. It's Puma! Everybody go subscribe to Puma! Konako never answered me with what kind of content she does. But, she's the wife of a good friend of mine from high school. Kaneko-chu, that is. Puma is a good friend of mine from way after high school, because I am old. And Puma is an artist. And plays cozy games. And does cozy streams on Sundays. Rivy having a war with his own tail in my arms. So if my avatar is freaking out, it's because the tracking is picking up both me and the cat flailing. I just have him curled up on his back, and I have his tail in my hand, and I'm just like waving it in his face, and he just loves this game. There's no purring today. There's no purr stream. He's too busy playing. Yes, we have reached the chat segment of Art and Chat. Plus my shoulder is starting to hurt, so I have to take it easy at this point now. It seems about 2 hours is what I can do in terms of painting before I start to feel pain. Can you believe that that lady's still out there screaming? She's probably like shouting at one of the statues or something. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, she'll stand on the street corner and she'll like scream at cars as they go by. It's wild. It's like watching a monkey. An angry monkey. Kiss the kitten. He's just very confused all of a sudden. He's like, what just happened? Did I just get kissed? I did. Oh, hey, here's my tail again. I wish I could show you guys this because it's the best thing ever. It's just teeth and claws, but the gentlest bites. No scratchies. He's just all teeth. But he's so sweet. The kittens are very, very gentle with their paws and their claws. So they'll have their claws out and they'll grab you with them, but they'll never hurt you. They're such good boys. Whoa, my avatar freaking out. Alright, off you go, baby. I honestly wonder if you guys can hear that lady. What is she screaming about, man? It used to upset me before, but I just got used to it. How have I gotten used to this? I had like the craziest sons of bitches living above me in my last place. A lady like leaned out of the building and like broke our window, the floor below. In the middle of the night. It was like minus 28 in January, and the cops were like, well, it could have been a bird. And I'm like, are there bird marks on the window? Is there a dead bird at the window? Below the window? No, because she broke the window. Also, her screen is pushed out, so she had to shove her screen out of the building to lean out and break my fucking window. And they're like, well, you didn't see what she used to break it. And I'm like, I don't care what she used to break it. She broke it. And they're like, well, there's nothing we can do. And I'm like, well, you could arrest her. Her husband just got arrested for drunk driving and threats and aggression against another driver. And she thinks I had something to do with it because I went out to talk to them. To be like, yeah, this always happens with these people and they're a nuisance. And the stupid cop was like, what's your address? And I'm like, well, let me write it down because I don't want her to know because she's like lurking right there. And he's like, okay, well, just like get closer and tell me. So I get closer and tell him. And then he just announces the goddamn unit number so she knew who it was that was talking to them. And so she blamed me for her husband drunk driving. And so she was like smashing on her floor with a hammer for like 2.5 hours before she leaned out the window and broke our window. Luckily, it's those like 1970s like storm windows, so there are two big panes of glass with a big gap in between them, so our internal window didn't get broken, but our external window was obviously broken. And they're like, well, do you know what she broke it with? And I'm like, no. And they were upset that like, well, we had like a wooden sword and a small knife to defend ourselves in case she came down. Like, she was using a fucking hammer on her floor to be mad at us. Like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, ever since then, if I hear loud noises in the building, I've just been like super upset by it. I get some PTSD from that. So I don't know when I became comfortable with the crazy, unhinged screaming outside. Because the place I lived at before the place I lived at last, the lady across the hall from me was like super abusive to her husband. So she was always shouting and screaming and throwing shit too. Like, why do I find these neighbors? I don't know. But she was super abusive to him. Like, he wasn't the greatest dude either. But lady who lived above me as well, she was also abusive. They were abusive to each other, and it was insane. That's why my house looks like a military compound, and every square inch centimeter is inside and outside, except for bedrooms, are covered in cameras. I'm assuming your bathrooms too. Yeah. I couldn't imagine having cameras inside my house. I think that's a little bit weird, but I know that's very much an American thing, is having cameras inside your houses. That's also something we really do in Canada. It's very, very unusual for us to have cameras inside our houses. Even outside, like, a lot of the times we just don't have that kind of thing. But I guess it's because our country feels very safe. More and more people are getting cameras, though. Like, even in apartment buildings, like, at least 3 of our neighbors have cameras on their doors. And it's because of all the package theft that we're getting now. Because the police just won't do anything about it. So we have cameras to catch package thieves. That's about it. But for other criminal things, like, we generally don't have that much of a problem. We mostly use them to see what the dogs are doing, which one jumped on the table, how did the plant pot get knocked over, etc. Yeah, we just assume that if something is out of place, it was the cats. If something's broken on the floor, it was the cats. Like, my phase. I was gonna go out to the craft store yesterday, and because the craft store is out where I was getting my ultrasound, and I was like, I am not walking the kilometer out to the Michaels from the mall / the clinic where I'm going in this fucking weather, cause it was brutal. The weather yesterday was ass. And I found out, like, my aunt, who lives much farther north, not the one who used to live in the city before she got married and moved to the city to the south that is still part of the city. My aunt that lives much farther north, one of her pine trees came down and, like, it snapped off in half and landed and smacked into her soffit. And the other half of that half broke off and rolled down the other side of the roof and took out the soffit, the fascia, the eaves trough, and the gazebo. 15 cameras, Jesus Christ, Necromancer. God. It's like a high security facility there. Your internet quit. Oh, I'm sorry, Puma. I mean, how did you send this message? But yes, that's my crazy neighbor story. I always seem to have crazy neighbors. When we first moved into this place, there was somebody who was always upstairs shouting. And then I had to call the police one night because I heard like this... Oh, yes, your phone. Your phone has internet too. I had to call the police one night because I heard like this shouting, and it was between two people, and then I heard this loud crash and this sort of scrabbling sound, and I was like, I can't take this anymore. And so I called the police, and then like a month later they were gone. And then the cast of Stomp moved in upstairs. It was just like these two girls, and they just stomped everywhere. And then they left, and then these people moved in with kids, and these kids seem to have no bedtime, and they'll be like stomping around and chasing each other at like 11 p.m., 12, 2 in the morning, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on up here? What is this? This parenting is insane. I actually had to go upstairs and knock on their door and talk to the kids, and they're like, it wasn't us. And I'm like, it can't be anyone else, kid. I live below you. I can follow you around the apartment. So yes. But dude, it's like really late, and I just want to sleep because I've been awake for 2 days with insomnia. So I consistently had the cast of Stomp living above me, and it's like, I just want a career so I can afford a house and get away from this. I'm losing my fucking mind, and like the fire alarm always going off makes my roommate freak out because she's like hypersensitive to things, and like some days she just breaks down because the fire alarm, especially at the start of the school year, so August, September, the fire alarm goes off a lot. And she just loses her mind. She doesn't even like fireworks anymore. Yeah. And my stories aren't even that bad. Like, I had the crazy bitch who broke my window, yeah, but like... Man. Now, like, the first apartment I lived in, where, like, the abusive lady was across the hall, there was another lady just up the hall from me, and she had terminal cancer, and that's how I got, like, my first couch, and my kitchen utensils that I still use to this day. I had moved in with nothing, and they had seen me move in with nothing, and they're like, well, I'm dying, so you can have, like, half my shit, because it's gonna get thrown out. And I'm like, thank you. I'm so sorry. And then, you know, they're moving the couch into my apartment, and the little boy is, like, clinging to the couch and sobbing and screaming that he wants to keep it. And I'm like, oh, God. I will never forget that sobbing. He was going to go live with his auntie. And she was going to be raising him, and I felt so bad because he was like 4. And oh my God, that poor kid. I just want to hug you, but I'm a complete stranger, and you hate me for taking your couch. Ugh. I don't have that couch anymore, but I did donate it to Value Village at least, so hopefully it went to a good home before it reached its end of days, because it wasn't doing too well, but it was very soft and comfortable. And it was just like a love seat. But man, my heart. I felt so bad. I'm like, can I adopt this child myself? You can stay with the couch. You can just live on the couch, okay? I felt so awful. But, like, it's a tough time in that kid's life. I can understand that, like, he would find something to latch on to and freak out about. You know, if he wants to send his bad vibes with the couch, he can fill that couch with all the bad vibes in the universe. I will cleanse them. Couch comes with a free child. I'd rather not, thanks. But, you know, I just felt so bad. Because, like, so much was happening in his life at once. And he probably didn't fully understand what was happening. So he was just scared. And it's like, I just wanted to give this poor kid a hug and, like, a teddy bear or something. But I had nothing. I had literally nothing. I didn't even have a table. That's where my table came from, and my chairs. They were given to me by that lady as well. I had a cardboard box and a camp chair. That was my furniture. And then a few months after that, Sai moved in with me. And we got some real furniture. And all of the living room furniture pretty much belongs to Sai, except for, like, the bookcases. The bookcases are mine. Because I have a lot of other random shit. We now have adult furniture. Mostly because her parents bought the couch and the chair for us. I had 2 Tolsta chairs that I got. And the dining room set came from her grandmother. So, if I move out, I will have no furniture. If she moves out, she'll have no shelves. I'll have 2 Tolsta chairs in my bed and whatever's in my room, which is mostly, like, Walmart cube shelves and this rickety IKEA desk that's falling apart. Adult furniture is overrated, yeah. If I move, I'll probably just sell my IKEA bookshelves, to be honest. Because I don't want to move them again, and they're not in great condition, so they'll probably be like $25, come and get. The desk, there's a reason why I have the like legs for one of those sit-stand desks. But I think I'm going to change it up because what I have on my wish list is an old model, and I'm not sure it's strong enough. So I was proud I got my adult plumage. I mean furniture, yes. Look, there's something about, like, you move out and then you finally get your own adult stuff, right? And it feels good. No matter how old or young you are, it just feels good in a way. If I hadn't gotten married, I'd still have no furniture. I'm minimalist, I see. You'll get along with my brother. My brother's like, I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need this. He just gets rid of everything. Whereas my mom and I are both artists and crafters, so we have just a lot of stuff. Hand-me-downs, yep. Freebies, cheap flat pack, yep. Not visually cohesive, yeah. Yep. When you get your own place and you have your own stuff to style, that's, like, the best thing in the world. For me, I've always wanted a house because I'm an interior designer at heart. And if I could paint my walls and do whatever I wanted, my place would probably look like a fantasy castle. And then I'd probably have another room that looks like a fucking spaceship because I'm a fabricator too. And the only reason my apartment is so boring is because I can't do anything to it. Because they're like, oh, well, if you move out, then we'll have to paint it. And if you have painted anything other than beige or white, then you have to pay us to paint over it again. Or you have to paint over it before you leave, and then we'll have to paint over it anyways. And we'll be grumpy about it because we want to squeeze as much money from you as possible. And then we'll double the rent on the place without doing any renovations and charge the next person that much. I have lots to say about this subject. But also, houses are very, 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 very expensive now. I can't wait till the economy crashes. Because then I might be able to afford something. Yeah, cream beige on the walls here, and I freaking hate it. The color is so uninspiring. It is an uninspiring color. Rumi says her mom has a problem with oatmeal. The whole house is like an oatmeal color, and she's not wrong. Her mom's house is just oatmeal. It's all grayish, beige, light browns, tans. Hydrate! You know this streak is just a bigger posture check, right? You're just wasting your points at that point. But my posture's been pretty good because I haven't been hurting. But we'll do the street. Everybody untrim thine spines. Oh yeah, no, like the S&P 500 dropped like 1,000 points yesterday. It was insane. Your Liberation Day. I can't even. Oh, what have I done here? I clicked on something. Hold on, let me. Oh, there we go. I clicked on something on my OBS and it just froze. I grew up with nothing but white walls, yeah. My parents' house at least had, like, came with lots of wallpaper, so I grew up with very brown walls. Lots of earth tones. And, like, there's these big cedar panels on the walls, so there's a lot of variation. But I want to repaint my parents' bathroom for them, but I want to renovate the whole thing, but I need money to do that. And streaming is how I'm making money right now for the wonderful people that have subscribed or been gifted subscription. Necromancer, thank you. And advertisements. So everybody watches the advertisements. Also, thank you. It really helps a lot. When I have spare money, it goes towards Conquest, and then when I have spare money on top of that, it goes into investments. And with the stock market going bananas and blood in the streets, that's when you buy. If you have any money, when everybody else is selling, that's when you buy, because that's how you make money later. It may cost you money now, but you make money later. So everybody should have a portfolio of some sort invested in an index fund, even if it's like $200 invested. My dad likes shiny white walls. My mom, who didn't have custody, painted the guest room a pale sunbeam yellow, which was great. Yeah. Every room in my parents' house has some sort of color in it. Whether it be like wallpaper or the like cedar paneling or just painted. My mom was an artist and she loves color. So like there's always color in some way in my family's house. And if I wanted to paint my room, my mom would let me paint my room. So like when I was really little, my room was like flamingo pink because I love flamingos. And then when we moved to Ottawa, I painted my room lavender. I wanted to paint it darker, but my mom was like, it'll make your room look really small. Like, my room was huge. And then later on, when I was in high school, I was allowed to paint my room a really, like, dark a blue shade. But it's like a dusty blue. It was called Pool House. By Martha Stewart. So it was one of Martha Stewart paints. But like it was just a beautiful color, and I have the swatch for that paint, so if I ever wanted to try and color match it from somewhere, I'm able to do that. So like it's just my favorite blue. Like if I had a house, I would paint the outside of my house that color. I kind of like that sort of nautical theme, and I always have, despite my thalassophobia. I'm so terrified of deep water, but I'm like, I love water. I also love forests too, like a deep, dusty lichen kind of green is also very nice. I like really dark, cozy spaces. And yellow is a very nice color. My mom's bedroom is this beautiful sun yellow, and the back wall where her bed is against is an accent wall, and it's like this really dark maroon. And then she has this huge painting on it that's in a pale blue frame, and the painting is a really dark patch of water with lily pads. And I think it's a Bateman print. It's even numbered. And it's just a gorgeous piece. The frame detracts from it a bit, but when she framed it in the 90s, that's what she could get, was like a colored frame. If I had a house, the outside would be Prussian blue, and the craft room, fantasy castle, living room, dark academia, witch vibes. Yep. I would probably change out all of the doors in my house to have like an arched castle door look, so they wouldn't have square frames. They would all have that arched door kind of thing going on. I would change them all. I'd just put in new headers, new doors. They'd be made out of wood. Like actual wood. Not these like hollow core pieces of shit that we have. A builder grade garbage. No boob lights in the ceiling. Ugh. Blech. No, I would have the most rad house in the universe. I'm actually watching a channel. Let me go find the name of it. Lux Taylor. So Luxtaylor. Most of his videos are dance. But his current stuff is building a spaceship in my garage. And he just released episode 3 a few weeks ago. Or a few days ago, rather. 4 days ago, in fact. And, it's pretty cool. Hold on, I'll grab the link for it. And just post that for episode 3. But if you go back and watch, from episode 1, there was like a 5 or 6 month break in between. Make a special small door for Kit called the Fox Door. The man is a strange man. He's a strange being, and I like him. He's a strange human. And his fabrication skills are pretty awesome. He does film with friends of his. So they're actual filmmakers. So he's an actual set designer, prop maker, fabricator. For professional grade pieces. And he's a strange human, and I think he would fit in well with our group, honestly. He would probably like the skill tree people. He'd definitely be a skill monkey if he knew about us. I get tired of the watermelon flavor very quickly. I'm also out of ice. Let's switch to strawberry. I bestow upon you a hug. A good hug. Aw. Thank you for the hug. I return the hug. Yeah, glug glug. I'm gonna have to go pee soon. I'm drinking so much, but I still feel dehydrated. Maybe I'll spend some time on the treadmill after stream. I think, since nobody's here. I got left behind. Sad. Nachos redeems a hydrate. A Necromancer redeems a hydrate. A Nacho redeems another hydrate! Oh god! Oh, another highlight from Nacho. There's one. There's two. There's three. That's four. Chug, 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 chug. Yeah, it's about what's going on here. Waterboarding me again. I gave them permission though. And a stretch. Oh god. Oh, what is my spine doing? Oh, everybody unshrimp thine spines. Oh, my neck is so crunchy. Why is my neck crunchy? I wish it would stop. I hate that feeling so much. Ah. Yep. I have this weird thing where my neck makes this crunchy noise, and I hate it. I'm just saving up your points. You are so excited to use those points when they come in. When I get the VN equivalent of tits in. That should be good for a little bit now, yeah. I am very well hydrated and very well stretched. I feel like today I should definitely go for a walk outside since the weather is actually nice today. Yesterday the weather was ass. Oh my god, it's 15 degrees. What the hell? High of 16. Jesus. We went from like minus 10 in the wind yesterday to 16 today. Celsius. For the Americans. It's t-shirt weather out there. I'm planning on getting rid of most of my t-shirts because I only wear long sleeve shirts all year round. Yeah, it's actually very nice today. It's sunny and there's barely any clouds. There's just like little poofs in the distance. Just can't do meters. Well, a meter is just like a little less than a yard, I believe. It's like 3 inches short of a yard or something like that. So, like, on the short run, it doesn't make that much of a difference, but in the long run, it definitely makes a big difference. I know there's 1.69 kilometers in a mile. Nice. But, like, I know you guys have, like, this weird number for how many yards are in a mile, and I'm just like... That's... Base 10 is just superior, I'm sorry. I think 12 inches is 30 centimeters. Something like that. Very close. No one uses yard. Oh, isn't that how you measure your football fields? Is you measure your football fields in yards? And like distance on the football pitch is like measured in yards. Like you do legitimately use yards. But you prefer to use washing machines. No one actually knows how long that is, yeah. Because your system doesn't make any fucking sense. Oh my god. It's the shitting on Americans segment. Are we allowed to clip your stream? Yeah, absolutely clip my stream. Make as many clips as you like. If I do something weird, clip it. If I say something funny, clip it. Just clip it. Just clip. Clips are good. Absolutely clip it. As to where to post it, hopefully I'll get the Discord up in the next couple of days. I am working on setting up bots and systems for that. I've got the structure set up for the Discord. I can invite you guys individually to the Discord if you like afterwards. But there are, like, no bots or roles or anything. I haven't finished setting up the roles either. I'm very slow to do these things. Because I have to read tutorials for some things. Like, I'm setting up the one that automatically tells you when I'm streaming. But yeah, go ahead, clip stuff. Clip away. I love clips. I can feature clips on my channel. When I lived in Germany, Celsius was quick to pick up, but after 3 years I had zero sense of how far a kilometer actually was. I mean, once you start getting up to those distances, like, the human brain just doesn't compute that stuff anyways. Like, I have a pretty good idea of what a kilometer is. I know the distance from here to the gas station is about 2 kilometers. It's like a little less than that. Or, no, it's 1 kilometer is 2 kilometers both ways. So, whenever I walk out to the gas station, I get a 2 kilometer walk. And I know that there's 1.69 kilometers in a mile. So whenever I walk to the gas station, I get just a little over a mile of a walk. And noodle time! Noodles! Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodles are tasty. But the carbs, man, I put on so much weight if I eat noodles. But I want noodles so badly. You know what I really want, though? I want the cheese noodles from Conquest. Oh my god, I have such a craving. I have to go back to Conquest to get the cheese spätzle. Oh, it's so good. And if it's too much food, they give you a half portion for half price. But once you start getting into things, you're using a lot of energy. And then you're like, wow, this huge portion that seemed way too big at the start is actually not enough. But yes, clip things. You can, if there are moments in the VODs that are still up, go ahead and clip them, because the VODs don't always, the VODs don't stay up forever. I upload stuff to my YouTube channel, like I export the VODs to my YouTube channel, so that there's a record of them. But if something happened in a VOD that you want to clip, just go back and find it. But I think they only stay up for like 5 days or something. Ooh, gonna bring bread. Yeah. There's so many things that I want to bring and I can't bring because I'm not allowed to bring them into the European Union, like cured meats and cheeses and stuff. They're like, no, you can't have those things. Your VODs last forever? Oh, that's... yeah, because you're always recording everything. Where do you store all this shit, man? Like, how much data have you got stored? Necromancer is a weird hobby. What do you even do with all of this data? Both? I remember someone clipped a reaction you had when Necromancer funded something. Yeah. Digital pack right away. Yeah, I mean, I have files on my hard drive that are, like, from the 90s. So, I understand the digital landfill is a thing. I also have a digital landfill, but it's mostly images. When the world goes through an apocalypse and we need entertainment, Necromancer will provide. He has all of Good's streams, he has my streams. I have homework from high school, yep. I don't know how old you are in comparison to me. We didn't really have much digital stuff. We were still writing reports by hand in high school. It was late high school when we had to start turning in computerized reports. 37? Oh, okay. So you're not that much younger than I am. Like, I got the impression you were definitely older, but younger than me. I figured you were definitely in your early to mid-30s. So, 37 is still in the mid-30s. 38, however, is not. 38 is late 30s. I have thresholds. Random British dude is playing Alien Isolation. 100 gigabytes of your strings plus full chat history and 15 terabytes of total compressed data. What the fuck, man? That's insane. That's insane. I know that's really not that much in comparison, but man. Alright. And on that note, I think we're going to end stream here at 2 hours and 43 minutes. And we are going to probably raid CNaught because he's another artist. And we didn't raid him yesterday. We raided Evan. And we raided Mokomate on Tuesday. So it's probably CNaught's turn unless you want to see Alien Isolation with Random British Dude, who is a really high energy fun streamer. I will let you guys decide. Do you want to go into the Sculptor of masterclass works, or do you want to go into the fun, loud British man playing Alien Isolation? Yes, almost as long as yesterday. I don't have a sore throat today, which is great. It's, I think my sore throat was caused by my sinus infection, which is starting to clear up. Yeah, okay, Fantasy wants to go into the Sculptor. Okay, so we'll do /raid CNaught Bush. And there's one last hydrate, 2 last hydrates for the road. There's 1. 3 last hydrates. Here's 2. And then there's 3. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you all for coming by. There'll be another stream tomorrow. Remember, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Another hydrate for the road. Oh my god. I need to go eat something because now I'm starting to get a stomachache again. But I'll see you guys next time. One more. Bye-bye.